Yeah. Yeah. So hello guys, this is day 3 of our revision. We will be continuing with our last session because in last session we haven't completed our HOF. So we discussed something about functions, then we moved to object methods, and then we moved to a higher order function. So we have seen what are higher order methods and what are the different kinds of higher order methods, but we haven't jumped on deeply about the implementation part. Like we know that higher order methods can be applied. I mean, there are different types of higher order method, but mostly we use only the array method as higher order functions. So we saw that in arrays there are 4 kinds of or 5 types of higher order methods, which are for each, map, reduce, filter, and there are many more, but these 4 are mostly used. So that's why we decided to revisit these 4 array methods. So yeah, we discussed for each and map, and today we will discuss filter and reduce. So let me open my VS Code and let me share the screen. Screen. Here it is. So let's go to function, sorry, VS Code. I will comment the previous code. Dash, and this function implementation. Yeah, so before jumping on to filter, I will start with filter first. So let me hear from you. What do you know about filter? A quick definition and any syntax explanation would be suffice. Yeah, so go ahead, Maheen.
Okay, so I want to know about the filter. Like, if we have a array and we need to the find some value from based on some condition. Like if you like in array we have a 1 to 10 numbers and we need to we need to even numbers which are the even number and we want to only that number. So in this we can filter if our array name is array1, so array1 dot filter, and in this parenthesis we can pass, we need to pass one function, and basically we pass the arrow function. In arrow function we need to return the condition, and by this way we can filter out the all even numbers. So this is what I know.
Good. Exactly. This is exactly what filter does. Yeah, so let me start. So technical definition would be array dot filter method is a method which takes one anonymous function. Like here inside that you will be having one anonymous function or callback function, call it anything. So that callback function will be executed for each and every array element. So you have this array, for each and every element this anonymous function will be executed, and it will return a boolean value. Either it could be true or it could be false. But we need to like this array, this filter will generate a new array. I mean, it will return an array, and that array will be consisting of those elements, those original arrays elements, which returns true. Maybe you won't get it, but let me give you an example. So let array is equals to, I have, let's say, an array of 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma here. Okay, array has been, I guess, previously determined.
No,
So yeah,
in
yeah.
after two, you put two commas. Maybe the
Okay.
issue is
No, I guess array has been declared before. That's why it is giving array. So I will take
okay.
array 2. Yeah. So I have one array 2, and I will take a variable called filtered array. And in that filtered array, I will execute array2 dot filter. I'm using filter property or filter method on array2. So as I told you that array2 array will take one anonymous function. It could be any function which is declared before, or you can directly declare one function here itself. So this function will return something. This function will return a boolean value. Boolean value. So I'm just writing it in comments. So this function will return one Boolean function, Boolean value, and this anonymous function will be executed for each and every element. So it will be executed for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for that element which this Boolean value returns true, that only element will get added to the filtered array. And let's say for example, for the first iteration, this anonymous function returns true value. So one will get added to our new array. And let's suppose for two, the second element, it returns false value, false boolean value. Then this two will not get added to the new array. So this is how it. So let me show you one example. If I return true, like I simply write return true. So what will happen? This anonymous function will execute for each and every element to that. And for every element, we are returning true. So what it implies? It implies that every element will get added to our filter array. So let me console log the filtered array to see the results. Filtered array. Yeah. So I haven't opened it in live server, opened it in live server. This is this site page. Let's wait for it to open on live server. Yeah. So we saw here it is open, and let me inspect it just to see the console value. I have inspected it, and let's go to the console value, and here we can see, sorry, let's go to the console value, and here we can see the array. So this array returned all the elements from the original array. This was our original array. And since we have returned true, the Boolean value true for each and every element, that's why each and every element get added to the new filtered array. And here we are consoling filtered array, and we can see the all the elements. But what if I return the false, the Boolean false value for each and every element? Then no element will get added to the filtered value, and our filtered array will be empty array. So this is how it works. Again, I will repeat. The array.filter method executes one anonymous function for each and every element from original array, and with those element for which the anonymous function returns true, only those elements will get added to the filtered array. And for those which return false value, those element will not be added to the filtered array. So in conclusion, we can say that array.filter value just filter out all the elements based on a condition. So here we need to give a condition which will give us either true or false, and according to that condition, some elements will get added to the new array and some will get filtered out. So this is what filter does. So now, since we have seen a very simple example, let's do something. So let's suppose the same array has some even numbers and some non-even numbers, or sorry, odd numbers. So I'll randomly decide some of the values here. So now this array has some even numbers and some non-even numbers, that is odd numbers. So let's filter out the odd numbers. So I have odd num is equals to array2 dot filter, and I will execute one anonymous function, and this anonymous function returns. And here for representation of each and every element, I will write item. So this item will represent each and every element, and for each item I need to check whether that item divided by 2 is equals to 0 or not. So here I'm checking for even numbers. If this condition passes, that means our item is even, and we want that item to be get added to, sorry, even, no, so I need to write even. Yeah. So in even number, I want only even numbers. So this condition checks whether the item is divisible by 2 or not. If it is divisible, that means it is even and we need to add it to even number. So for those elements which are even, this thing returns true. And since it is returned true, it will get added, and all those elements which is not divisible by 2, that is those elements which are odd, will get filtered out from the new array. So let me console log even number, and I'm expecting even numbers. Even. Do it again, refresh. Yeah. So here, as you can see, the original array was 2 for 5 6 1, and the new array is 2 for 6 4. So 5 1 and 3 are got filtered out because because of this condition. So this is another very basic example. Yeah, so I will pause for some doubts. Yeah, you can ask any doubt if you have, or else we can go ahead and execute some more exercises. Any doubt?
No,
Okay,
everything is clear.
yeah, good, nice. So now we will jump on to some exercises.
कोई भी दो कर लो, फिर रिड्यूस
Yeah,
पे ज्यादा करेंगे ये तो.
good. So now we will be jumping on one exercise related to filter. So I have searched on ChatGPT and it gives me some really interesting examples. So the first example we did it just to have a even number array. So we did it. Second example says that given an array of strings, create new array that contains only the strings with a length greater than 5. So let me copy this from here to VS Code so that we don't need to go to browser again and again. And let me copy the array. Here is our array, and let me make it full screen. Yeah. So the question says that given an array of strings, which is apple, banana, orange, grape, and kiwi, create a new array that contains only the strings given an with a length greater than 5. So we need to filter out all the strings which is not, I mean, whose length is not greater than 5. And we need to have only those strings which has a length of 5 or greater than 5. So let's do this. We know that we will be using filter method. So let's create a result array, a result string, sorry, result array, because it will give return an array. And here we will write words. We are using filter method, and this method will take one anonymous function having item and one code block. So in code block, we need to write the condition. What is our condition? Our condition is to make sure that the current string has a length of 5 or greater than 5. So what is our current string? I have denoted it with item. And one more good practice is that you need to make explicit or a meaningful variable. So here in item, we know that it is going to be a string. So we will write str. So str dot length should be greater than equal to 5. So this is our condition. We are checking if each and every string, whether its length is greater than equal to 5 or not. If it is greater than equal to 5, then this whole condition will return true, and that current string will get added to result array, or it will get filtered out. So here we have done it, and let's see whether we got the expected result. So I will console log result, and I will check it on the browser. Where is my browser? Here is my browser, HOF. Yeah, so we got apple, banana, orange, and grape. All of them having the string length 5 or greater than 5. So yeah, it is working. And yeah, it was easy. Let's go to the next. No doubt, I guess, yes. So let's go to next. And this question says that given an array of number, create a new array that contains only the positive number. Yeah. So now I will give you a chance to solve this question. So I will copy the question from here and here. So this is an array having all the positive numbers as well as negative numbers, integers we can say, and you need to have one array, result array, or we can say positives, only positive numbers, and here you need to uh, use filter method, filtr. I will write the structure first so that we don't lose time, and just provide me the condition. Yeah, mine. Go ahead. What will be the condition?
Okay, so condition is first we need to pass one parameter, and this parameter take a one individual item from the numbers array. So we need to like condition is number greater than zero. If zero should be then if number should be greater than of zero, so it is positive. And one more thing I want to ask, we need to include the zero or not?
Yeah, good question. So,
Okay,
zero, it depends upon the question. Let's assume that we want zero in this question. So, in that case, what would be the
okay.
one condition?
So we need to greater than and equal to sign.
Good.
If we need to include the zero also. So
Hmm.
this filter function return the only positive number with zero.
Okay, good. Let's see. Positive number and go to the browser. Here is the HOF. Uh, refresh the number and we get 70810 -3 -2 -1 got filtered out. Nice. Again, another easy question. Let's jump on a little harder one. Yeah, this question. So let me copy the question first here itself. And this code block, I mean this function, oh sorry, array. Yeah. So this question says that given an array of student object. So this is the student array. It is basically an array. Why it is said object? Uh, Create a new array that contains only the students with a grade greater than or equal to 90. Okay, so we need to have one resultant array, and in that array we need to add only those students who has scored more than 90 or equal to 90 at least. So this student and this student got 92 or 95 more than 90, then these two students needs to be added into the resultant array, and other two students needs to be filtered out. So here, if you would like to solve it, I will give you a chance. Otherwise, I will solve it. Yeah, mine. Let me write the structure first. Toppers. I will write toppers is equals to what is that? Students dot filter. Since the each and every element will represent student, so I will write student. Very intuitive. And here I will return something. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, we need to filter out the those students which have grade up to 90. So here we need to use dot method because each individual item in the student's array is the object. So we need to here object we need to access the grade which are inside the object. So first we need to student dot grade student. Please write student
Student dot grade
dot grade dot grade greater than or
greater
equal to
than
greater than
greater than or equal to
equal to 90.
90. Yeah.
90. Okay.
So give me one dry run for at least two elements, two iterations.
Okay.
What will
So
happen?
when this filter function will run, so student as a student he take a first object which is a name alias and grade 88. So here I told you to write student dot grade. So student dot grade is a 88. which is less than is and not equal to 90. So it will filter out. It will not added in topple. And after it will go on the second object. Second object name is Bob and the grade, and I write here student dot get the, so it take a grade 92, which is the greater than and equal to 90. So this second object will be added in the tuple array. And by this it goes next and 78 and 95. So in this way it filter out the those student only which are the toppers, and thus grade is up to 90 or equal to 90.
Perfect. Nice. Very good exact explanation. Let's see the results. Topper. So I have console toppers. I will move to browser and see the result. Refresh once. And I have two objects inside the array, and I have Bob and David, whose score is 95 and 92 respectively. Nice, good. So this was another implementation where we integrated objects. And most of the times we will be dealing with these kind of complex data structures where arrays inside objects and objects are inside arrays. So this thing will get more messier in that case. Currently it looks simpler, but again, uh, filter out unique elements. Yeah, this is another good example. So let me copy the question, paste it here, and copy the code. Yeah. So it says that, okay, number 2. So it says that given an array of numbers, create an new array that contains only the unique element. Unique element in the sense no two elements should repeat. Only the unique element should be there. So yeah, go ahead. Let me copy this thing. Number, and here unique number. So yeah, again, create one unique number array, and in that array, you need to have all the unique elements. No element should be repeated. Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so we need to here don't added repeated number. So I think number not equal to number. This is the condition.
Number
Number
is
not
not equal to
equal
number.
to yeah.
Okay, let's see what will happen or what should happen. So first we will get 1, and in for that one, oops, for that one, our this anonymous function will get run. 1 is not equals to 1. This will give us false because obviously 1 is equals to 1. So for that, we will
Mhm.
be losing out one unique element. Okay, let's see what should happen. Since for first element, the this condition should be true. So let's write true. Assume it is true, and 1 is get added to unique elements. Nice, very good. Again, we will check if for 2. So we need to compare, like we need to see whether this 2 has been added already in our unique array element or not. If it is added, then we know if we don't need to add it, we will skip it. Or else, if it is not present in the unique number, then we need to add it. So how we will check that thing? Even I am thinking. So I gave you some time. Let's see. Okay, one approach I can see is directly convert this whole array into an object. We can do that, but here we don't need to do that because we will be using only filter method to execute same. So for filter method, what we can do, we know that filter method will execute this anonymous function for each and every element. So what thing we should return that makes sure that the element is not it is not repeated, or it is not present in the unique number array. Hmm.
I want to ask,
Hmm.
dot has own property is useful for arrays or only useful for objects? Dot has own property because
Has on has on.
so by So this is one more property I know, but I'm confused. It is working on arrays or not? If it is
Hmm.
working, so we can use it here.
I guess no. Maybe it is, but I'm not sure because mostly we have used it on arrays, so I don't sure about that. So this thing will won't work because we have access to num and index, but obviously filter gives you one more parameter. You can add the original array as a parameter as well, so we will use that. So we will use it as self because obviously it is the original array, so we will use it. And inside that, this thing will not work. We can have one simple logic. We will say that self dot index of, and we will pass the item here. Item or num? What was that? Num. Okay, num. So we will check whether this num's index is matching with the current index. So we are checking for that. If it is true, then we will simply add it to our unique elements. If it is false, we will filter out. Let's have a dry run of this. So I will dry run it for 4 times. So since we will get 1, so current number is 1, we will check index of current number. What is index of current number? It is 0. And the current index is also 0. So 0, 0, it is true. 1 will get added to unique elements. Similarly, for 2, number is 2, index of 2 is 0, 1, 1. 1 is the index of 2, and the current index is 0, 1, 1. So 1, 1, it is matches. 2 get added to unique number. Similarly, 3 will get also added to unique number. But when it comes to 2, since 2 is already there in our array, and this thing will return 1, as since num is 2 and index of 2 is 1. But our current index is 4. Since this index is pointing to this 2, so current index is 4, and this thing will return 1. Then in this case, we will have some discrepancy. It will return false, and we will skip out this iteration only, and this will not get added to unique element. Similarly, for 4, since there is no for, it will get added. 5 will get added. But again, with this 4, that thing will happen again. It will return index of 4 will return index this index, and our current index is pointing to this index. So these two are different. We will get 4 will get filtered out. Similarly, 6 will get added, 7 will get added. So at the end, we are expecting that all the unique element will be there. So let me check whether it is true or not. And voila, it is true. Nice. So we have found out the best way. There are other ways, just like I told you, to use one object, or you can also use for loops. So there are methods, but the question itself asks to use filter method explicitly. So that so we have used filter method, and inside that we will always be working with this return function. I mean this return value. So we need to have one good condition just to check our requirement. So we need to write, we will only be working on this statement, return statement only, and everything will fall into place. So yeah, with this thing, with this thing, we have discussed about filter. We have seen how to use it, what are the different aspects involved in this, and we have solved some of the questions. And with this, filter is completed. So we will jump on to reduce. Yeah, so now we will continue with the yeah, reduce. So we have done filters and map. So reduce, I kept it at the last because it is little complex to understand the reduce. So first we had discovered the map and for each and filter, so that we can know, at least have an idea of how higher order functions work. So now we have a basic idea, and we have discussed some of the higher orders, so we can watch the reduce, see the reduce. So I've written reduce is an array, sorry, reduces an array. Reduce function or reduce method reduces an array to a single value by applying a function cumulatively to the elements. So what it does is, we, let's say we have a number array, and in that array I actually wrote reduce function, and obviously reduce function is higher order function. It's obviously going to take one higher order function. Or let me copy this thing first. Let me go here. So yeah. Yeah, so I have, okay, I guess I have the numbers. Yeah. So what I have done here is I've taken one number array, number one array, and I've applied reduce method here. So what reduce method takes? An anonymous function, and that anonymous function is still here. But reduce will take another we can say argument, and that argument is the initial value of accumulator. Now what is accumulator? So as I told you that reduce is little bit different from whatever we have higher order functions we have studied. It takes one function, and that function takes ACC, the accumulator, as first parameter. Previously, we saw that filter takes number, and that number is gonna represent all the elements one by one. Same for maps, same for each. But in reduce, it takes accumulator as the first parameter, and then the second parameter is your genuine function number or item of the array. So now what it does is it returns something. It can return anything. And now, listen to me very carefully. First argument is let me paste it here so that you can watch me as well. Yeah. So the first argument is an anonymous. Sorry, first argument is an anonymous function of reduce method, and that anonymous function takes accumulator as first parameter and number as usual, like whatever number and item we had taken in filter and map, that number is our second parameter and first is the accumulator. And whatever it returns, that returned value becomes your accumulator for the next iteration. So let me make you a quick example of how it works. Yeah. Let me fix the window. Yeah, now it's fine. Let me go to the HOF file. Here it is the HOF file. Let me open the. Okay, till it opens, let's discuss this. Whatever we return from that reduce method, that return value becomes your next accumulator, the accumulator for the next iteration. So if I try to dry run this code, what happens here is first our accumulator is zero because we have initiated with zero. I could have written anything here, but since we are dealing with numbers, so it's logical to use number as your accumulator. And I am assigned a job to find the sum of all the elements from that array. And I for that I used reduce function. I could have used obviously loops, but I used reduce function just to show you how it works. So I wrote one reduce function. I took 0 as my initial value of accumulator and I returned in each iteration accumulator plus 1. I mean sorry, accumulator plus num. So in first iteration what happens is accumulator is 0 and for num I get 1 from the array. So accumulator plus num 0 plus 1 is equals to 1 for first iteration. So that this number 1 is going to be the accumulator for the next iteration. In next iteration accumulator is 1, number is the next number which is 2. Again we are doing the same thing, return accumulator plus number. So in next iteration my accumulator is 1 and the next number is 2. So what it gives, it gives 3. So for next iteration accumulator is 3 for next iteration. So accumulator is 3. Again num is going to be your next iteration which is 3. So accumulator is 3 and current number is 3. Again it will give you what, 3 plus 3 is 6. So now the new accumulator is 6. Remember, whatever it returns in each iteration is going to be the accumulator for the next iteration. So current iteration, for third iteration I got accumulator 3. I added to the current number which was 3, 6. Now the next iteration is for 4. So accumulator is 6 and for this iteration the current number is 4 and 6 plus 4 is equals to 10. I got 10. So 10 got returned and it became the accumulator for the last iteration, which is 5. Yeah. So for last iteration, 5 is your current number and your accumulator was 10. So for last iteration, 10 plus 5 is equals to obviously 15. So at the last iteration, you got 15 as your accumulator, and since all the iterations has been completed, 15 is stored in your accumulator. So what happens when we cover all the elements, we traverse all the elements, whatever we had in accumulator at the end of the last iteration, that accumulator is going to be returned from this whole method from the reduce. So 15 got returned, so 15 is going to be assigned to sum. So at the end, what sum is gonna give me? It's gonna give me 15. The output will be 15. Let's see. Let's see it with our own eyes. And I've consoled and I've got 15 from line number 165. It is okay. Line number got different, but 15 is our final answer. So this is how reduce method works. So in short, what reduce method is? Reduce is a array method which reduces your array to a single value. This is a perfect example and this is a perfect definition as well. What reduce does? Reduced basically reduces your current sorry, it reduces your, it's not does it directly manipulate your array, it just gives you a reduced value of that array. So what value you will get, that solely depend upon what uh, argument you are passing and what you are doing with the elements itself. So that basically depends upon that. So let and if to prove that thing, like what I've just said is the nature of the output is can be very different from what you are expecting. So now let's see. Okay, yeah, so now we will see how we can do it differently. Like we will use this reduce function to totally change data types format. Let's see. So we have this number. Okay, let me create one another number. So my problem statement is that we have one object. Let's say original array. Sorry, this is an array method. So we need to have an array, and that array will consist some objects with some values. Like let me check one. Amit, uh, age is I guess 25. Similarly, we will have two more objects. And here I will rename this as Sumit, and it's 23, and it is 19. And the name I changed to Akash, yes. So here I have one original array that consists of some objects, and I want a new a new data structure or data type. So my question is that generate one object out of out of the given array. So I need to create one object out of this given array, and I need to use reduce function. So here I will do it. So first, since it is going to give me an array, so I need to use the reduce function, and before that I need to assign it a variable. So let's say reduced object. Okay, why do we call it reduce? Because it because there is a, I mean, the reason behind this lies, the reason lies on the name itself, reduce. It reduces the given array and it returns something. And that something returned is totally different from what array we took before. So here we have an array, the original array, and we are obviously we are gonna use this reduce method over it, and that reduce method is gonna reduce the data, and it gives us something which has nothing to do with this array totally. So that's why reduce. So original array dot reduce another function. Yep. So we know that this function is going to take accumulator and the current item, and it will have one more accumulator, the initial value of accumulator. Since I want to generate an object out of this array, so the final outcome is going to be an object, so I'll definitely introduce an empty object. So this empty object is going to be our initial value for of accumulator. So I need to return something in every iteration. So return what? We know that this accumulator is going to give me the final output. I mean, whatever final output is, that is going to stored inside this accumulator. And currently, accumulator has a value of this empty object. So what I want is I want to have these values. I mean, I want to let's say I want to grab the what I need to grab. So what I want is I want something like this. The output should look like this. Uh, so Amit is gonna have, sorry, Amit is your first key, and the value is gonna 25. Sumit is your second key, and the value is 23. Similarly, Akash is your third key, and the value is 19. Nice. This is what I want. Okay, so the output could be different. Like I want this output. You could have extract some more, some other informations, like anything. So let's do this. So what is my accumulator? Initially, accumulator is an empty object. And in that object, what I want from that object, what I want at the end of this reduce method, I want this as my final output. So we know that for first iteration, I need to extract this name, Amit, and I need to make it a new key inside that accumulator object. And the value of that new key will be the value of age property from the original array. So let's do this. We know that accumulator in first iteration, accumulator is going to be our empty object, and the item is going to be this object. Okay, one more thing. Whenever you are I mean, using the reduce method over an array, you know that array methods, what is the type of array methods? Currently, we have objects. It could be anything like numbers. Here we had numbers, and it could be strings. So go with the data type, like make it logical. If your items are object, then name your item as object. Here I had numbers, so that's why I named it number. So you can obviously give some logical names to identify at at each iteration what element you are getting. Since the elements are objects, so I named it object. That was my tip to you. So I got this object. My accumulator is empty object. In that empty object, I need to pass one new string. So what I do to assign a new string, to new key into an empty object, what do? We take that empty object, we introduce the key. What is the key? Object dot name. Yes. So here I have implemented, I did object. Object is your first object. And from that object, I took name. So object dot name gives me this Amit. So that Amit, this whole thing will return Amit, and that Amit is going to be assigned to, not assigned, but it is going to be introduced to this accumulator object as a value. I mean, sorry, key. And the value that I am going to use is age 25. So again, object dot age. Done. So what this line implies is that uh, object dot name, which returns this name, and which gives us Amit. So Amit goes to here. And wow, one more thing, I should do this instead of like, yeah. So this should work. Object dot name is like I could have done that also, but it is recommended that you use square brackets. So object dot name gives us this thing, like it implies this. It gives us this. So that's why object dot name implies Amit. Amit is your new key you are introducing into accumulator object, and the value is object dot age. What is object dot age? 25. So at the end of first iteration, I will have something like this. Amit 25. This is our first item in our new object. So at the end of the first iteration, I will have Amit 25 as one key inside my accumulator object. Similarly, in second iteration, again, object is the same, but name is different. Since we are in a second iteration, so object goes refers to this object and name is this name. So Sumit and object dot age is equals to this age, 23. So we will introduce again this like this. Yep. So second key also got introduced. Similarly, again, third key, Akash 19. So at the end, I'm assuming that this reduced object is going to give me this expected output. So let's check this log and yep. So if I do reduced object, so here you will see the output is 19. Okay, let me do it again, refresh. Okay, again, it is giving me 19. Now let me check. Hmm. Okay, I did one mistake here. This is doing our job. It is assigning a myth 25 and then we are not actually returning the ACC. So the next step should be to return ACC. And here the return statement shouldn't be there. Yeah. So now see, in first line, we are first assigning or introducing one new key, a myth 25, and then we are returning ACC. So remember, I told you that whatever we return in every iteration, that's going to be our ACC. That's going to be our a new value for ACC for the next iteration. So in first iteration, we introduced one key called a myth with value 25 and then we returned it. So initially we returned that assignment itself, but that was wrong. We should return the ACC on the final step. So this is the final step where we are returning the ACCs. Now ACC has Amit 25 inside that, and again in that ACC we are introducing another key called Sumit, and the value is 23. So again, since we have introduced another key inside ACC, we need to return it to become the last ACC value for the next iteration. So third iteration, again, a new key introduced with a new value, Akash 19. And then we finally returned from the last iteration, ACC. So ACC is this whole thing. And here we can see that it is giving me the expected output. So here we have actually converted this whole array and our final output is an object. So this is a very good example of how you can transform the data structure. Like initially you had one array of objects, and then you returned, I mean you manipulated the objects, you extracted the needed things, and then you have one object where you have all the things, like all the necessary things in well ordered. So this is another use case of reduce. Reduce is also used to transform or to convert one data type into another data type. Array, two objects. Nice. So yeah, I guess I have done all the I have covered all the HOFs. So we have done with reduce. So now yeah. So let me stop the screen share. Yep. So hope you have understood the concept of reduce. Reduce is a very powerful high order function and array method. It can do literally anything. Like you need to write the logic correctly, and then it will do the job. And yeah, it is very powerful and very efficient array methods. So that's all for now. I guess you understood all the concepts that we have discussed till now, high order functions, and next day we will discuss something more and interesting. So till then, thank you for watching.